Hello students, welcome to the English class. Today we are going to discuss the very important poem of your book, that is the third poem. The name of the poem is Voice of the Rain. And this poem is written by Walt Whitman, who is a very famous poet in English poems. Okay, then let us talk about this poem. This poem is quite interactive poem where the poet is interacting with the rain itself and the rain is responding even. Therefore, this poem is quite interesting one and you all will love while reading it. So, let us see first of all something more about the poem. So, who was he here? He is poet and he was the son of house builder, who is the poet Walt Whitman, and he was the son of a house builder. He was self-taught and read the classics written by Dante and Homer. He worked as a printer, teacher, journalist, editor and clerk. In 1855, Whitman took out a copyright on the first edition of Leaves of Grass. So this was his first edition, Leaves of the Grass. And royalty provided him modest livelihood, means the royalty which he has got. Then he started living a pretty good life. Okay, let us read forward about Walt Whitman. Let us know more about the Leaves of the Grass as it is the first edition of Walt Whitman. In 1868 and 1886 editions of Leaves of Grass selected poems, the 1868 edition introduced Whitman to England's literary elite. The 1886 edition was aimed at bringing Whitman to the working class. Walt Whitman was initially thought to be a poet who wrote of sentimental Valley of Rose and Nightingale. But later, Leaves of Grass is seen as a new poetry of love and comradeship at the time of social misgiving, when rich and poor alike make us keenly feel the need of the spirit of human love. And he was perceived to sing of the new poorer democracy. So, this is all the introduction of Walt Whitman. Let us know more about him. Then we will come to know about the structure of the poem. Which poem? The Voice of the Rain. So basically the poem is in dialogue format. The speaker asks and the reply constitutes the poem. So two ways in which I is used. So the speaker uses I and the person who is replying that too uses I here. So interchangeable means the dialogues transfer from one to the another person. The two is merge. All of us are part of this universal one. So the poet emphasis on self and its qualities. Use of archaic language. Who art thou? Who are you? When the poet wants to ask, then he said, who art thou? Shows reverence for the rain, thus sets the tone of the poem. One of the reverence and awe for the force of nature. Collocation, art, whence eternal with impalpable wrecked atomies. Contrast shown between eternal qualities of rain and the perishable nature of all other things. We all know that whatever is present in the nature is meant to be perished. But the rain always remains eternal because through the process of evaporation, the water gets evaporated and again it comes down on the earth in the form of the rain. Therefore, it is having the eternal quality. Okay. Now, let us see some of the lines. Who am I? Gentle rain in various forms such as cloud, eternal, untouched by human hand, etc. Then what do I do? Elevate suffering of earth, rejuvenate, keep the life cycle going on. And who I am most like? a clear-hearted song sung from the depth of one's heart. So these three questions arises in the poem that you all will notice then and enjoy the poem. And here these three questions cover all the depth of the poem. So first of all, who am I? The rain describes its definition, that who is she. Then what do I do? What is the function of rain? Then who loves the rain most? Everyone gets happy with the arrival of rain, but who gets most happiest person? Who becomes the most happiest person on the earth when the rain comes down on the earth? That has been explained in the poem. Now let us see the characteristics of the rain. So we all know that rain is gentle, natural, eternal, and its origin is from the earth, in the earth. From there only the water gets evaporated in the clouds. Then untouched by human corruption, it is quite pure and changes its form seamlessly and ethereal quality. So when it changes its forms, no one can notice it. Elevates human sufferings, means when the creatures on the earth get too much irritated by the hot summers, by the suffocation, and at that time the rain arrives and it heals the pains of the human beings. Then it rejuvenates, it beautifies the earth and brings love on the earth. Now let us discuss the rain cycle. This we all might have read in the junior classes also. So first of all, what happened? First of all, you can just begin when the rain falls on the earth, then it refreshes everything, then it gives new life to all the plants, okay? And then that rain, which is that rainwater which gets collected in various sources of water, then it gets evaporated and becomes vapor, then it forms cloud, and again it falls in the form of the rain on the earth. So this is all the rain cycle. This we all have read in the junior classes in the form of evaporation and condensation processes. Now let us discuss the poem The Voice of the Rain, paragraph wise and line wise. And before starting it, let us see the introduction of the poem. The voice of the rain is an imaginary dialogue between the poet and the rain. This we all know, as I have told you in the beginning only. The poet casually asks the rain who it is. And to his surprise, the rain answers the question and tells about its birth and end. The poet understands the tale of rain and translates it for the readers. Means when the rain talks to the poet, he could understand the language of the rain, and then he has created this poem to just make the readers understand that what the rain has responded. Now let us see some of the main points of the poem. This poem is an imaginary dialogue between the poet and the rain. As we all know that rain never talks, therefore it is just an imaginary dialogue. And the poet asks who it is. Then surprisingly the rain answers and tells how it originates, and we all know the process. It rises unseen from land and sea. It forms clouds in the sky. It returns to earth in the form of rains, and it gives back life to the earth and make it beautiful. This we all know the magic of rain and that it brings on the earth. Now let us see the poem line wise. And who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower, which is strange to tell, give me an answer, as here translated. So here the poet is saying that I asked from the rain that who are you? And he just asked from the rain who was falling very slowly on the earth. And he was quite surprised when the rain responded to his question. And here the poet is saying that I have just translated the lines of the rain, that how it responded to me. The rain said, I am the poem of earth said the voice of the rain. Eternal, I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed altogether, changed and yet the same. So, here the rain explains about itself that it is the poem of the earth and it is permanent and it rises from the land and from the bottomless sea towards the sky with the form of evaporation, we all know, and upward towards the heaven it rises, and there it takes a form altogether and again falls on the land, just like the in the form of the rain, and as usual it comes down on its original form. Now let us see the next paragraph. I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layer of the globe, and all that in them. Without me were seeds only, latent, unborn, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. So here the rain is saying that for a purpose only it descends from the heaven to remove the drops, the dust particles from the globe, means from the earth, and the rain is saying that the seeds get birth by the falling of rain on the earth only. Otherwise, if the rain didn't fall on the earth, the seeds will always remain seeds inside the earth. They remain unborn, they remain latent only, and therefore the rain is following the process of the rain cycle and day and night, and therefore the rain is saying that I am giving back life to my own origin, means again and again the same process has been followed, and again the rainwater gets evaporated, again it comes down in the form of rain, and therefore to make the earth purify and beautify it, the rain falls down on the earth. Then here the poet is thinking about itself, and he has compared his poem, his song with the rain, because rain has conversed with the poem, and now it's turn of the poet that how he compared his own poem, his own song with the rain. And here it is written, let's see. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love return. So here the poet is saying where whatever he writes or whatever he sings, that it offers to its readers, and he doesn't bother whether the readers like it or not, but that song which he has written very happily, so that song will always remain in the heart of the poet, and he will enjoy that poem forever throughout his life. Okay, and from where the song has been originated, from its heart, and therefore the poet is saying that from my heart the song is originated and it will always remain there in its birthplace, means in the heart that song will always be there. Okay, so this is all the poem. I hope you all have understood it. It is quite beautiful, easy poem. So read the poem once more from the book so that you all will get it and understand it. Okay, so thank you.